Hey everyone, welcome back to Class Bites, your place for quick and easy lessons that make learning simple and fun. Hope that you got a note in our previous video about how humans are destroying tropical rainforests, shocking truth about our planet. In today's topic, we will compare tropical rainforests and deserts in terms of energy flow and biodiversity. Grab a few minutes and let's learn something new together. Tropical rainforests and deserts differ profoundly in the way energy moves through their ecosystems and in the richness of life they support, yet both reveal how climate shapes the balance of nature. In a tropical rainforest, sunlight is abundant throughout the year and warm temperatures remain steady. This consistent supply of light and heat fuels vigorous plant growth. Because plants convert sunlight into chemical energy through photosynthesis, the forest becomes a powerful engine of energy production. The dense vegetation captures and stores vast amounts of this energy, which then flows through the ecosystem as animals feed on plants, predators hunt herbivores, and decomposers break down fallen leaves, fruits, and dead organisms. Energy moves quickly and continuously because life is always growing, competing, dying, and regenerating. Moisture plays a crucial role as well. Frequent rainfall allows plants to thrive and produce large amounts of leaves, fruit, and nectar. Since food sources are plentiful, a wide variety of species can coexist, each occupying its own subtle niche. The result is extraordinary biodiversity, with countless insects, birds, mammals, reptiles, and microorganisms sharing the same space while relying on different resources, behaviors, and survival strategies. Deserts present a striking contrast. Although deserts often receive strong sunlight, the energy captured by plants is limited because water is scarce. Without enough moisture, most plants cannot maintain continuous growth, so the overall energy entering the food web is much lower. Plants that do survive must conserve water through slow metabolism, thick skins, or deep root systems. Because these plants grow slowly and produce little biomass, herbivores have fewer food sources, and predators, in turn, have far fewer prey. This creates a simplified chain of energy flow in which every organism must be highly efficient and opportunistic. Instead of constant growth and recycling of organic matter, deserts experience long periods of stillness interrupted by short bursts of activity when rain finally arrives. During these rare moments, plants may bloom rapidly, insects appear in large numbers, and animals take advantage of temporary abundance. Shortly afterward, the ecosystem returns to its usual rhythm of conserving rather than expending energy. These differences in energy flow lead directly to differences in biodiversity. The stable and generous energy supply in rainforests supports an enormous variety of living things, each adapted to a slightly different layer or microhabitat. In the tall canopy, some species feed on fruits or leaves that never reach the ground. On the forest floor, others specialize in shadows, fungi, or decaying material. Predators take advantage of this complexity by evolving keen senses, diverse hunting methods, and intricate relationships with their habitats. Competition in this environment is intense, but stability allows species to specialize and diversify over long stretches of time. This results in ecosystems where even small patches of forest may host hundreds of species living side by side. Deserts, by contrast, offer far fewer opportunities for life to branch into such finely tuned roles. The harsh climate limits the number of species that can survive, and those that do must be adaptable in broad and flexible ways. Instead of specializing in narrow niches, desert organisms often develop traits that allow them to tolerate wide ranges of temperature, long periods without food or water, and unpredictable conditions. Many animals rest during the hottest hours, emerge only at night, or migrate when conditions become too severe. Plants may wait many seasons before sprouting, surviving as seeds until conditions are favorable. While this produces remarkable adaptations, the overall number of species remains low compared to the teeming life of a rainforest. Despite these contrasts, both ecosystems show how life responds creatively to its environment. In a rainforest, energy moves rapidly through countless interactions, creating a rich tapestry of species. In a desert, energy moves slowly and conservatively, giving rise to organisms that endure despite challenging circumstances.
Both environments highlight the delicate balance between climate, resources, and the ways living things organize themselves to survive.
Building on this understanding, it becomes clear that the contrast between tropical rainforests and deserts is not simply a matter of abundance versus scarcity, but also one of stability versus unpredictability. In rainforests, the environment remains relatively consistent, which allows species to establish long-term relationships with one another. Many organisms depend on extremely specific interactions, such as insects that pollinate only one type of flower, or birds that feed on fruits available only in certain canopy layers. These intricate connections strengthen the web of life, making the ecosystem resilient, yet also sensitive to disturbances that break these finely tuned relationships. Deserts, shaped by irregular rainfall and extreme temperatures, nurture a different kind of resilience. Here, survival often depends on flexibility and timing rather than specialization. Animals may alter their activity patterns within hours, while plants may shift strategies depending on how much moisture is available. The unpredictability of desert conditions creates an ecosystem in which life thrives by embracing change rather than resisting it. This capacity to endure extremes highlights a unique form of ecological strength, as desert species can survive conditions that would overwhelm most rainforest organisms. Another key difference lies in how each ecosystem cycles nutrients. The constant warmth and moisture of rainforests allow decomposers to break down organic matter quickly, returning nutrients to the soil almost as soon as leaves fall or organisms die. Yet, because plants absorb nutrients rapidly, rainforest soils are often surprisingly poor. Most of the ecosystem's fertility is stored in the living vegetation rather than the ground beneath it. In contrast, the slow decomposition in deserts means that nutrients accumulate slowly and remain in the soil for longer periods, though they may not be accessible to plants until rainfall dissolves and distributes them. This slow and irregular cycling of material shapes how desert vegetation grows and how animals depend on sparse and scattered food sources. These differences also influence how disturbances shape each ecosystem. In rainforests, even small disruptions can affect delicate networks of relationships. A tree fall may open a patch of sunlight that gives fast-growing plants a sudden advantage, shifting competition patterns in that tiny space. Larger disturbances, such as storms or human activity, can affect entire layers of the forest and may take long periods to heal because the balance among species is so precisely arranged. Desert disturbances, however, can at times appear less dramatic, as many species are already adapted to harsh and unstable conditions. Yet, when rare rains do arrive, even small changes to water availability can ripple through the ecosystem, influencing reproductive cycles and migration patterns in ways that may reshape the desert landscape for long stretches. Ultimately, the comparison between tropical rainforests and deserts reveals how life adapts to the rhythm of its surroundings. One ecosystem is defined by constant renewal, stratified habitats, and a continuous flow of energy, while the other is shaped by scarcity, patience, and the ability to seize brief windows of opportunity. Both represent successful strategies forged by evolution, each demonstrating that survival depends not only on resources, but also on the capacity to respond wisely to the demands of place and climate.
And that wraps up today's topic. We hope you enjoyed this short lesson and learned something new. Drop a comment and tell us what topic you'd like to explore next. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Class Bites to keep learning and growing with us every day.